is your own mind. And
Yeah.
another greatest limitation is what other people want you to do and to try to please everybody else and seeking everybody else's approval. And because then your mind starts to make up all these little checkpoints that start to limit you. Is this practical? Is this right? Who will be disappointed if I do this? And who will be excited if I do that? And would this be appropriate? And so forth and so on. And will I make money at it? Or how will I live at it? All of these questions tend to block you from having that free reign of thinking to where you find your creative purpose and and the real juice of your life. Those things get in the way. So you got to silence those, set those aside, and like you said, allow yourself to dream freely, even if it makes no sense for a while. But I went through some of the deeper trainings, the kinds of trainings that we do now. That the reason I do these trainings now is because it meant so much to me in my journey, in my turning point, and my stepping forth. Living out loud is what I call it. But in that work I did, I had to sort through all of these blocks or limiting beliefs and all the things that tell me that I can't, and where did all of that come from, and where did I get these beliefs and these limitations, and see if I can get to the source of them and let them all go. And there's a moment where you get to a square one or a 0 point where there's nothing in the way, there's absolutely nothing. And that is the beginning of where you start to discover. Now, I think most people never have that actual experience. They read about it, they hear about it, and that's why it needs to be a real direct experience to actually go somewhere where you can actually receive that kind of training and that tutelage. And I would say that most people, the problem with most people is they bounce around from this to that, always seeking, always looking. They try this and they try that, never ever finding what they want, while they're wasting a lot of time and a lot of their potential. And no relationship, no job, no career could ever be powerful while you're jumping around like that. I think most people think that they could do almost anything if they just knew what to do and who they were. So that's why it's so important to find your gift and find a life direction for yourself. And the process that we've been talking about is critical. I don't think that we learn that in school, but I think it's one of the most critical things that you should do in your life is to go through a thorough examination with someone else being your eyes and ears for you and helping you go through that process. And because you tell yourself all kinds of things and you trick your own mind, but if you got somebody else guiding you through it and helping you through it, you will ultimately find the answers I think you're looking for.
Yes, that's it's great because we trying to do that on our own. We will just I was saying to someone the other day, if I had 2 years ago, if I had started to imagine where my life would be today, it would have fallen short of where it really is today. So there's that combination of allowing ourselves to dream and creating a vision, and then also working with people and coaches and these programs like you're talking about that can help us really think outside the box and actually become people that we never imagined before. And again, just to underline that, if we would so limit who we really are if it was just left to us. So other people can see what we can't see. And just to back up a little, when you were talking earlier about getting quiet, prior to having the inspiration to write my book, I obviously had been waiting for Jack, but I also was working with a coach who said to me for about 3 months, gave me the coaching to not read any self-help books because I was kind of the self-help book junkie. And so I actually, for that period of time, didn't read any self-help books, and I journaled. He had me journal. And I wasn't thinking about the book necessarily, and it was literally the day when I caught myself waiting for Jack that I had the inspiration to write the book and went on to do that. And I won't go into the whole story for those of you that are listening that don't know that. You can go to my website, which is www.waitingforjack.com. But it was, it just was that period like you're talking about of creation, for me, I had to stop some of all the input that I was taking in and start to, with someone who I trusted, start to allow my own expression to come through and my own creativity to come through. So the process may look different for different people, but it's like you're saying, that just that important time of allowing that to really to birth within us. And then, like you said too, doing the work necessary to clear away the obstacles that would keep us limited, because we can be creating and yet have all these limiting belief systems and never actually do what we're creating.
That's right. And, I have a website, rayblanchard.com, where I've listed a few things and I've put up some new CDs. And I've got a new CD coming out pretty soon. It's going to be called The Game of Life and How to Win It. Mm-hmm. Now, that's going to be coming out, and I'm going to debut it at the Super Seminar coming up soon. And it will be listed on my website. And it gives people some tracks on different aspects of this discovery process. One of the things you just said that I want to just jump onto too is that sometimes you have to stop reading all the self-help books and stop doing all of the input that's coming to you. And this is why. We have a set of beliefs that are relatively fixed or relatively rigid. I call it a filter. We see the world through a filter. We see the world through a certain color lenses. And that's our habituated way of processing information. So even the new information that comes in gets reframed into our already existing views of life. So therefore, it doesn't have the impact of what a real fresh offering, a fresh input could